Hello everyone. So before we start, let me just first explain like where is this see this natural makeup coming from. It is actually from a concrete, and the thing is like I haven't seen him for a long time, and I missed him, so I gave him a big kiss. If you know what I mean. Yeah, I felt. So the lesson is do not drink alcohol too much. Now let's go to today's subject, and I'm also gonna tell you what I think. I'm gonna make a reaction about Derek's video, and I'm gonna tell you what I think. So I'm also gonna tell you why I think that he's right about some of the things, but I'm also gonna tell you the things that I think that he's wrong about and why. So let's start. Let's watch.
Mid 50s, fucking stacked, eating 800 to 900 calories a day.
So he's making a reaction to this guy that it's in his 50s and his diet. And I'm making a reaction of Derek's reaction to this guy and his video.
Calories in, calories out, because, like, no shit. Like, we all fucking know that. Let's not make it that obvious, but...
Calories in versus calories out. We all know that. Here we go again. If we all tried ketogenic diet long term, we would also know something else as well too. Watch the video that I made about calories.It and ketogenic diet.
And it's measured out. I usually end up with around, per the day, I'm staying around 900 calories a day through the week.
Now, 900 calories definitely is way too low for the guy of his size. But sometimes, depending on that, like what kind of goals you got for the weight loss and all of that, sometimes you gotta go like, if you don't have enough time, you just gotta go too low and you gotta stick to it. The problem is it ain't sustainable, and this is not gonna last pretty long, and there's like so many reasons, it ain't healthy and it ain't good for you in the first place. And then you're gonna binge later on, like, when it comes to cheat day, just like this guy says he's having like 5 days a week, being on 900 calories, and plus the cardio workout that he does, which is a deficit too. And then he goes on weekends like so crazy that it's like 5,000 calories and messes up the whole thing. Like if you can stick long term on 900 calories, let's say that you just gotta do that much for whatever reason, because you don't have enough time for a competition or something, depending on like, what kind of sports are you in, which some people have to do, which is the worst possible option, of course. But if you have to, that's the only one that you got, but like the best possible option to do this would be a long term and not so big and so high deficit, like maybe 300 to 500 calories low, and long term, like as long as possible. It is going to be a lot easier to stick to that, a lot healthier, and actually is the best possible solution that I've shown in my experience too for all over these years, and that's what Derek is saying in this video, and this is the thing that I'm going to stick to. But there's also the thing later on that I'm not going to stick to.
I think that, like once I diet at like 1900 for so long, like now I need to go to 1700. It's like, no, like the only thing about that is that it's unsustainable.
Now, 900 calories really is way too low and it's not sustainable long term. But if you go like 1900 calories, let's say that you're in deficit, 300 or 500 calories depending on your caloric intake, so you're going not 9 but a 1900 calories, and then that at some point you're gonna have to go to 17. He said no, and he's wrong about that. You're definitely gonna have to lower the calories. Like the only way that this is gonna work is by constantly lowering the calories. That's the only way that you can get this thing to work, because otherwise it's not. Your body's just gonna get used to it and then it's gonna stop. And this is not because I just read some scientific research about that or something like that. It is because I tried it on myself, and some of my clients, they also confirm exactly the same problem and the same thing. I believed, like I'm a believer, and I deeply believed in the calories in versus calories out. Still doesn't matter, still at the end of the day, that's it. That's Craig Doucet's theory, and he's wrong about this thing too. Because after a while, your body gets used to it. And that small deficit that you had, that doesn't, it works in the beginning, but after like, let's say maybe 6 to 10 months, some people are going to face this sooner and some people are going to, face this later on. But anyway, it will show up. It shows up like, sooner or later, this is going to stop, and then it ain't going to work. The only way that you're gonna get this to work is by constantly lowering the calories every single time. And let's say even if you reach, the wanted body weight, and then you're trying, like, to maintain that. And let's say that at that stage of maintaining it is, for example, only 1800 calories. Whoever doesn't believe in this, try this. And the way that you can try this is cut the calories until you reach the wanted body weight and your goals, and then you reach that. And let's say that you're at the 1800 calories right now. When it's reached, try to see how long can you keep this at 1800 calories, because you believe that this is gonna last. Once you reached it, and that's it. And if you keep the same amount of calories, this is gonna last long term. Like I said, it works in the beginning, works for a while, but then it stops. There's the time of the adaptation of your body, and once your body adapts to it, it doesn't work anymore. And then you gotta lower the calories, not to cut more, but to keep and maintain the same body weight. It is shocking, but I couldn't believe in this myself. But I passed through this stage not just once, but more times, and I'm definitely sure, because every single time it confirms exactly the same thing, and I'm definitely sure that that's the way this thing works. This is the side effect and the problem that calories in versus calories out diet actually has. Now, for later on in the video, like, he's gonna give some guy as the example that technically did starvation and lose some weight. So eventually, if you keep lowering the calories, you're gonna reach some point when you're just gonna start losing them. Like, if you starve, you're definitely gonna lose the weight. But if you go a small deficit, and then let's say you want to try to maintain that, this doesn't work long term, and it will not work. Whoever doesn't believe in this, try it long term, and you see it for yourself. Now, there is things and tips and tricks also, to go through this stage. That's what the good coach is gonna know, how to get you through that. There's actually an option to reset your body, so your body's gonna start losing the weight again and keeping the same weight if you're at that stage, like, let's say that you want to maintain it. But that definitely shouldn't be to lower the calories. There's other changes, things, tips and tricks that you should do to your diet. There's that reverse dieting and many more that you should do, so your body's gonna get resetted, and then it's gonna go through this stage. And it is actually going outside of that stress mode that you made it and created, and then it starts losing the weight and burning the fats again. Anyway, long story short, the small deficit of calories on the long term to maintain the same body weight, it actually doesn't work for calories in versus calories out. Now, this was my vision, my opinion on this. You let me know what you think in the comment section below. Would like to hear and see your opinion and your experience. Did you face exactly the same problem like I did? This was it for today, and I'll see you in the next video.